Today I'm going to demonstrate ReARM's agentic guardrails that fire on pull requests for affected releases. Here's how it works. So this is my controlling ReARM, my dev instance. Now I have, so this is my Git repository with which I will work. It's a simple card shuffle project. And then this is my Claude Code. So here on Claude, this is the prompt that I will add. So basically I will tell my agent to read the orientation MD on controlling ReARM and just do a simple trigger build on a branch in my repository, one of the components of my card shuffle repository, and then report status from the PR. So let me ship this. This will take a bit of time, so while agent is doing that, let me show you what we expect on the backend. So here on ReARM, we have what's called approval policies. So here are my approval policies, and you can see we have, so first of all, we have AI agent policies, which in this case say that orientation report is required, and it's configured in the following way. So every session must have agentic report with the phase orientation, and if it doesn't, then in this case we will block, meaning reject every release in the session if session doesn't have orientation report. So our agent will have to produce this. We'll see how it works a little later. And then let's look at actual approval policies. So we'll be using the policies for internal component. And these are all the policies that are configured. So especially there are two that we are interested in. One is saying that the head commit signature must be verified on every commit. And the other policy we're interested in is this one. Essentially, it says block on high or critical vulnerabilities and validate otherwise. So basically it says if release is assembled and it was already scanned and it contains any critical or high vulnerabilities, then reject this release and invalidate PR, and otherwise set ready to ship and validate PR. And just to show you, this is actually how this rule is written. So there is option, so there is precondition which says that release must be in assembled lifecycle and it must be already scanned. And then there is actual condition which says if critical or high vulnerabilities, if any of those are more than 0, then reject, or otherwise then ready to ship and validate. So those expressions, conditions and preconditions, they are available as CEL expression format, and here there are a lot of variations that can be expressed. The rules can be written here. So these are our rules. Let's see what our agent is doing now. Okay, so it already opened PR and it's waiting now for the build to complete. So let's go back to ReARM and see what's happening. So we have AI agents dashboard here. So this, I can see my session is open here belonging to this agent. So we can go in. This is the current session we're working with. It has commit, so it produced commit. We can see that signature is verified. It has artifacts, so this is the agentic report I was talking about earlier. We can actually view it, and it's very simple. It just it reported the task it needed to do, on which repository, and so basically the orientation report it produced that was required. We can check the agentic policies here. That again says the report required and the status passed, because we just saw the report here. There is now a release going. It's a pending release, and there is a pull request that it's open. So let's see the pull request now. Okay, so the release is now assembled, and but we're still waiting on validation from this release. Let's check the release. Okay, so in this release we see the same commit that we saw before. The status is verified. You can see the commit message is actually suffixed with the ReARM trailers, and also it carries this cryptographic signature is signed payload, and this is how ReARM actually knows to assign this specific commit to our agent. And now we have two bills of materials. One is done from source code scan, and the other done from Docker image scan. You can see the status is enriched already, and the scan is pending. So let me check. So we can see that the scan is now done, but the release status is rejected. So we can check why it's rejected. We can go to history, and in release history there are all the events that are associated with this release. So it was created first, and then it had like 2 artifacts attached, and lifecycle was changed from pending to assembled. But this is the event we're interested in, is when lifecycle changed from assembled to rejected. So we can check that it's actually triggered by our rule that I showed previously, block on high critical vulnerabilities, and we can see there are actually 2 high vulnerabilities associated with this release in those components. So that's essentially why it was blocked, and we sent an event to invalidate the PR. From here, from the release, we can also go back to our pull request and see that release is now rejected and PR validation returned failure. So let's now see our actual PR, how it looks on GitHub. We can see the checks are failing. We can see the comment from ReARM with the lifecycle rejected. There are high vulnerabilities. It says that there are actually 2 conditions on this release, so there were no disapprovals, so this condition went well, but there are, as we can see, high vulnerabilities, and that's why it's not met. So similarly, ReARM just shipped a check, and this check resulted in failure for the same reason. Again, from here, from this view, we can go straight into release on ReARM as well to check those details. So in this case, that you can see that the agent did work, but ReARM stopped the release and stopped the PR because there are vulnerabilities that we cannot tolerate, and this is what agent sees. So agent says, okay, ReARM gate posted rejected because it matched known high vulnerability gate, and this is the actual result, and it says it attached final report to the session now. So let's double check our session. Okay, so this particular session is now closed, and there are now 2 artifacts. There is also final report. We can see it from here. So this is the final report that says everything that it did, and it says lifecycle rejected, return on 2 high vulnerabilities. There were no unexpected issues. during the session, but essentially the lifecycle returned rejected. So this is how ReARM guards the work that's done by coding agents. Thank you for watching.